Why, hello everyone from Arcturian Philosophy, brought to you by infinitelightlove.org. Go there, go to my website. I had to pay to get a website, so go to it. And no, I don't like make money if you click on stuff. I just wanted a website because a certain person who enjoys his cage and hacked into NORAD has a website, and so you know what, I said I'm gonna have one too. I don't care if I don't have a server. I don't give a shit. Alright, so what is this episode about? Well, something happened today, and I realized, oh my god, there is no hope for certain people. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you're not one of those people for the moment. If you are watching this right now as I'm speaking because you're hacking the phone, you are potentially one of these people. All I'll say is, in the beginning of the Brand New Day album by these guys called Swollen Members, who are rapping about Grays and Yaels and stuff, introduced to me by someone who was kinda would know about such things. And what does the beginning say? What is the ultimate truth? To be not only a creator, but a destroyer. And I said, Cryon, look at this. Look at what's been said to me here that happened today. They're not gonna stop until I'm dead. It's just like the movie Hannah, where the father says to Hannah, look, that if you leave, if she knows that you're out there, she's not gonna stop until you're dead, or she is. And so I talked to the angels. Now remember, Michael has to do his share of dirty work. That's why he has a double-edged sword that he can see his own reflection in, to do the same dark things that they can do while still being Michael. And they showed me what to do if I wanted to actually create that kind of reality, even if you were technically creating a type of destruction. And I said, is there another way? Because it was my idea at first. I thought to myself, oh my god, it's just like the movie Hannah, practically, where she's being hunted down by her own parents. What do you do then, especially when I know that I'm going to be pregnant? What do you do then, especially when you know that you have a son to take care of? The answer is obvious. And so I said, Cryon, when we talk with the other angels here, I mean, this is pretty heavy, what you're talking about. I mean, it's one thing to disarm, it's one thing to disarm nuclear weapons, but it's another thing to actually show your enemy you will be destroyed, because you draw that into your reality with your wrongdoing. But I'd already said in another video, there are many other courses of action I could have taken with, for example, my mother and her giving me her credit card number and saying, you can use this. And now I know that she's pretty much got like some kind of unlimited money, something crazy like that, but she won't give any of it to me. And my brother has a sum that a lot of us as light workers would consider a lot, but he has no idea how to use it. He was programmed into like having no idea how to use money. So it's just sitting there. He has no idea what to do, how to invest it, or anything like that. And is so programmed that when I try to tell him, hey, there's a way out, come live with me, do something, do anything, you can get out, he still doesn't. He's still too dependent on the system. Just like where Morpheus says most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. In fact, when they become so dependent on it, they will fight to protect it. Now, he doesn't want to fight to protect it exactly, but he knows that he depends on it. So it was like me, as long as you feel like you depend on it, or allow yourself to depend on it, that's the key. Are you allowing yourself to depend on these things? Because you create it. If you create yourself, like my brother, I'm picturing this now. He's in his room, and he's sitting at his computer playing games like usual. He's created a little box for himself to live in without taking the power to really bust his way out. But that shouldn't be very hard for him at some point, very soon, because after what was said to me, I said, well, look, Cryon, they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop until they kill me. They're not going to stop until I'm dead. What do I do? There's only one thing to do then, and it's do what I gotta do. And he explained, are you sure this is what you really want? There will be repercussions, as in the aftermath of it. As in you'll have to deal with the physical aftermath of this. And I said, yes, I understand, but right now, the physical aftermath of doing nothing is me slowly becoming assassinated, and the other people think they can just do whatever they want to me because I don't seem to be fighting back. But if this happens, they'll know. Don't mess with that girl. They'll know. You're trying to assassinate her? We will fight back. When it gets serious, the light will fight back. Like Michael with his sword slicing people's heads off. He will fight back. And so they kind of conferred, and they said, okay, you have to decide very firmly if you want this or not. And I said, it's like what John Lennon told me. John Lennon explained to me what he meant in his first album after the Beatles, Plastic Ono Band. The song Mother and My Mummy's Dead. What he was singing about is exactly what I'm going through, is what he told me. He said, I didn't know for a long time that my mother was actually dead, basically, and her body was being possessed by a shape-shifting reptilian. I didn't know for a long, long time, and that's what My Mummy's Dead is about. He's saying even though it's been so long, my mummy's dead. Like, he's talking about, oh, she died a long time ago, and he's singing about how sad he is now. See, that's what it's about. And I said, oh, because he knew I would understand, because I'd just gone through the same thing of realizing, wait, this thing, whatever this thing is, has not been my mother for a long, long time. And he said, I didn't know either. I found out. And that's the part of the song, I found out. My parents, they didn't want me, so they made me a star. I found out. And he's saying I was in a similar situation with similar type of thing with the parents, and I broke out. And that was him breaking out at the Beatles. And what I said was, it's like what John Lennon says, where, Mother, you had me, but I never had you. Father, you left me. And so I just have to tell you, goodbye. 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 When it comes to you as a light worker, your life, when you find yourself in situations where basically your life is in complete danger and the planet is willing you to live, some of you might have an experience partly like I did at one point. See, after I intercepted the nuclear war concept, I had a strong feeling come over me that was, you know what, if that was the one purpose of my life, I would be happy with that. And I'd be happy if I walked outside and just died after this. Ironically, that was where they tried to assassinate me, and I lived. But it was the thought, you know what, if this was the purpose of my life, I'm okay with that. Now some of you may go through something like that, where you perform a great act, and your soul... Now notice that this can be pushed on you to make you think that it's your time to terminate. It might not be, but you may have a strong feeling within your soul that I've fulfilled my purpose, and it's time to go home. But for me, it is clear that it is not time to go home. It is time to stay here because this is my home. It is time to create a band of warriors. This is one thing I was shown while I was imprisoned, ironically in the Dune book, which most of the stuff out of there would be like screwed up gibberish when I would try and open the book to see if I could get some sort of message out of it. But essentially what I'm looking to do is find those of you, those of you who are watching who are too shy to make a video, or maybe you don't think you're good enough. That was what I felt like, and what am I doing? Making videos and looking pretty at the same time. Yeah. You are worth it. But on the subject that I was speaking on, I saw Cryon told me, Krista, just look at the probabilities. You're an Arcturian. You can do this. It's in your DNA. You just have to activate it. You know how to do this. You don't need anybody to help you with it. You don't have to pay anyone, especially to talk to me, because I'm Cryon and I'm talking straight to you. And he said, look at the probabilities. And every probability that I saw was like a dead end, except for one course of action, pretty much. And I said, see, well, look, I see the same thing, but couldn't there be some other way around this? And he said, well, technically that's up to you, but you know that you have firmly decided that you know your destiny is to stay alive on this planet. You've already been told that many times. You've had me tell you that. You are destined to live, and you have to do whatever you have to do to survive. It is imperative for the planet right now. You've seen how the teachers have been infiltrated. You saw how the people who sent you this jewelry that you're wearing tried to curse it to kill you or make you barren. You saw how the teacher that you learned from, who you recognize, who you know is from Arcturus, attempt to get you to associate happiness and fear together. Or use satanic programming on you. You saw how one of the teachers is reptilian with slits in his eyes. You've seen how all of this has... If you are also Kelly in the Raw, same deal. You should check out the video where she's showing off the ring of... which is the satanic goat's head type symbol. She's showing off the ring and said, oh, we got this at Hot Topic. When I saw that, just you guys who are wondering, when I saw that, I was like, wow. And I instantly knew then. I mean, that was instantly knew. So the idea is for all of the teachers, all of the people who want to be seen, quote, on YouTube, I don't necessarily want to be seen. I want truth. I want justice. Peter Tosh, everybody's crying out for peace, even the reptilians and the greys, but none is crying out for justice. Everybody's crying out for peace, yes, but none is crying out for justice. Well, I don't want no peace. I want equal rights and justice. I want equal rights and justice. And because our justice system has become completely compromised, I tried to tell the judge when I was given the restraining order, when I went there, and I arranged things, because we were late, I arranged things so that they would be late, so it worked out, so it didn't matter, or that I was late, which was cool. I tried to tell the judge, excuse me, Your Honor, these people are trying to assassinate me. I went over to attempt to retrieve my possessions, and this is an inside job. This is an inside job. And I told her, you talking about psychiatric medication. Well, I spoke with the doctor. His name is Patrick Munzar, and he suggests a particular amount of medication. I suggested this exact same amount of the exact same drug to these people that this person, my mother, is saying that I should be taking medication from, and that doctor said, oh my god, that sounds insane. That's for schizophrenic people, and you're clearly very sane. You're clearly not schizophrenic, and I also studied all of it formally in my major. Schizophrenic people act kind of like this, like, you're one of them. Oh, and they have very, very kind of fast type voices, things along those lines, and they tend to they don't go out. They tend to isolate or be afraid of people. Now, I'm very much not afraid of the people, but the people, when I go out, they end up staring at me, trying to hex me. So, I mean, I have a few options there where I can yell back at them, your firstborn child's gonna die, or something crazy. Or hold out my hands in some sort of protective gesture or something. I mean, it's going a little bit too far. And so with what's going to happen now, I went ahead and said, yeah, we're going to do this. With what was said, with what is going on, yeah, we're gonna do this, and it's gonna happen. And then all of the people outside, including the ones who I can hear over there spying on me, let's check them out. Hey guys! Hey spies! How are you doing? Say hello to the camera, guys! Did you guys catch that? You see, what I did is I said to them, look, if you guys just sit there and spy on me and crap like that, well, I will literally go outside and tell you to move. So I said, what you can do instead is walk by and spy if you're going to do that. And in San Francisco, the reptilians are so advanced in their psychic abilities that they can, along with the Greys, that they can synchronize things so carefully to the second, basically, so that people will be walking by appearing to be doing nothing, but they're walking by exactly at the right moment to see you do something, or to do something to you, or to see you through a crack in your window, things like that. That's at least what happens to me. And so what I'm really needing from you guys, from you guys who are on the side of the light, who are thinking, oh my god, yeah, I knew about Agenda 21, and I was wondering what the heck happened because nothing exploded. Yeah, it didn't explode because of me. And unfortunately, I'm in a little bit of trouble because all the YouTube teachers you guys love watching, they tried to kill me after, they tried to outright kill me after I stopped the nuclear portion of Agenda 21. Just all out trying to kill me. Including the town getting ambushed. Like I said, this town was ambushed by reptilian entities where they were psychic or like spirits. People weren't really seeing lizards walking around. What happened was carbon monoxide was sprayed into all of these apartments. You see this infrastructure here, apartments. All of these apartments. Now, there are houses that are over there that are very similar, but they're houses. I'm sure the same thing was done. Whatever means could be used on the greater area, or for people that lived in nicer houses, being attacked in their sleep, and things along those lines, and threatened through all kinds of means. Maybe Greys showed up in their room and scared the crap out of them, I don't know. But it was something like that. The area was suddenly ambushed, and this occurred, it seems like, while I was, partly while I was being attacked, and then major ambush happened while I was being imprisoned in Concord, California, John Muir Medical Center Behavioral Health. Remember, that's not really a hospital at all. It is a prison and a place of death. Hospitals are not places of life, they are places of death. I know this because I've been hospitalized probably 20 times, and you're wondering why. It's because of physical issues, that real physical problems. So basically, I had so many real physical problems that I was hospitalized countless numbers of times. And I realized, oh my God, you go to the hospital thinking you're going to get better. But the people at the hospital would do things which because of my medical knowledge, I would know that that was wrong, or that it would promote infection, or that it would basically promote death. And I would attempt to say to them, why, what are you doing? Hello, don't you know that this is that? Don't you know this or that? And they would say, well, I've been doing this for 20 years or whatever. And I'm thinking, apparently you suck at it then. Whatever. So, specifically here in San Ramon. Yeah, San Ramon Regional Medical Center is crap. You guys who work there, you totally deserve this. After what you did to me, how you treated me, how you tried to call me some sort of useless, worthless drug addict. Oh, and now it's the girl who stopped nuclear war. You guys are going to learn your lesson, or move. And move can mean, literally move, like move your body, or it can be like move your body like out of your body and like go somewhere else, and that over the rainbow thing, which is kind of what's happening here to some entities because of their level of attempts to assassinate me. So I basically realized, okay, I have to fight back. And I'm deciding to fight back. So let it be known, guys. I will fight back. And I already did. And all it is just to sit back and watch it happen. So, remember though, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're probably, like, totally safe from whatever I did. Because with a lot of the YouTube teachers, particularly, Cryon keeps saying, we want them back. Your job is to help bust them out. And at the same time, kind of take out the people that are outright trying to assassinate you and won't really change at all. And aren't even your parents anymore. And aren't even your species anymore. So, what has to be done has to be done. Unfortunately, that's messy, but we're talking about the planet here. And what would you prefer? Would you prefer that nuclear war happened and I was and I'm like just dead while you have to deal with nuclear war? Your family starts starving. Suddenly there are people marching around saying everyone has to go to a FEMA camp. Then you realize it's a concentration camp, and then you realize everyone's being murdered slowly in there. Yeah, that's what would have happened. That was kind of the plan. But that's where people like me are standing up and stopping it. Even some of the enslaved people, I can tell that, you guys might still be enslaved. A lot of you other YouTube people. But I can see some of you fighting a little bit. Most of you I don't really watch anymore because, do you expect me to after trying to kill me? And also, I was told, look, Krista, you don't have to watch them. We'll teach you ourselves. So, that's one good thing for people to learn. If you're not sure about how to do something, say, like I was told, Krista, with objects flying around the room, like the cards and stuff, you will learn to do this. It won't be with a card at first, though. It'll be with a crystal. You will learn how to do these things. We will teach you how. And the idea is to actually help strengthen my ability to hear and learn things like that. Like, I realized that what they told me to do with what, after finally deciding, okay, this is what we're going to do. This really is what we're going to do, okay. I realized that what I had done, I thought back really hard after the fact, and I thought, wait a minute, I actually saw that, like, on a satanic website or something. And I didn't know. I just was doing what I was being told to do. And because of that, I would like to meet a lot of you guys, because things are gonna change rapidly around here once that actually happens. Once what I did actually happens and actually manifests, things are going to start changing very rapidly, and we need basically a big group of people. And I personally think it's kind of unfair to exclude the girl who stopped the nuclear war. I mean, sorry to harp on that, but harp, no pun intended, on that, to harp on that so much, but I mean, people can have their, like, psychic click or whatever, but it's like, okay, guys, we the Arcturians don't believe in psychic click, and the other part is, if you want to have a psychic click, you should be focusing on, there would have been World War III. You guys got fooled into thinking that that would be okay. The YouTube teachers got fooled. And I almost got fooled. Like, I was fooled up until, like, 3 days before it happened or something crazy. Fooled into thinking that what they were planning to do would be beneficial somehow. I was fooled. That was part of how we pulled it off, because the probability looked so strongly that they were going to win. And blow up, parts of New York, or set off a nuclear weapon in the Atlantic Ocean, and radiate and, blow up New York. But basically, because of because of the interesting work, and it's the power of the intent. They tell me it's the power of your intention, and they show it to me almost. That's why I'm doing this, because they show it to me as like this coming out like that it's the power of such intense focus that I can muster that does it, is what they say. And the term master manifester has been used to describe me, and they'll note, have you noticed that you have healing abilities? Have you noticed that you can heal things, and that you can do it pretty darn quickly? Actually, you should tell people that you can do that, and you should offer to do it for them. So, because of that, I think let's offer to do some healing for people. But I think it at this point works best in person. But, well, no, they're telling me like Skype, like the visual contact, the vision, having the vision there and being able to see whatever the afflicted part of the body is. I don't have transparent vision like other people say, some of the other teachers do. I don't have fully transparent vision, but what will happen is I'll look at an area of somebody's body, and with just a little bit of information, it doesn't have to be a lot. I'm still working on this. It's a little bit of information, or like pointing me to the area that's problematic, pretty much. This area is hurting me, or this area is hurting me, and from there I can start to pick up what the problem is. Sometimes, if I can't, it doesn't really matter, because the idea is seeing what it looks like, and so I'll generally see a kind of picture in my mind of what the inside sort of looks like, or where the problem is. And because of that, what I would do with myself when they were doing this to me, when they kept on trying to hurt me, is finally someone said, "Oh, this whole palm thing is minor chakra." Oh, who knew? I didn't know that. I just knew that apparently I can use them and heal stuff. So I would place my hands on the different areas, and I would feel the energy move in whatever direction it was supposed to, or keep, see, like this, moving my hand along where and the energy is supposed to be moving, like for example along here, getting certain things to flow. They kept on trying to break my ribs in there, and what would happen is it wouldn't break the rib. The joint would somehow take the stress, and then I would feel it not move and place my hands over it, and then when I would move, I would hear popping, just like if you did that. See the popping sound? If you cracked a joint, a knuckle like that, and I would feel it popping like that. And so that was the only thing they were really able to do to me. When they would try to break bones, it would end up going to my joints, which would somehow neutralize whatever it was, and it would just pop. And somehow I would feel it pop as if it was releasing the energy that was shoved into it, and I was really at a loss to explain, how is my body doing this? My body is just evolving in front of me. It's wow, that's really cool. So some things are going to change because, we wouldn't have an Ashtar command. As I'm being reminded of this, we wouldn't have an Ashtar command if we didn't have to fight. If it was all peace and love and light, then we wouldn't be fighting. So there are certain things that sometimes we just have to do. Especially when you know that your lifespan is not supposed to be over yet, like with mine. And the idea is, people get in the way of that. You have to do what you have to do to stop them, no matter what it is. You have to do what you have to do to stop them, because you are too important to us. The child you will bear is too important to us, and we cannot allow you to be harmed, basically, is the idea. So again, check out infinitelightlove.org, just because it's fun to read, like my blog. It's basically like a blog. I'd like to turn it into a website where people could actually come, like, see me or talk to me or something. Now, next, video about how to figure out what kind of starseed you are. This one I'm going to have to think about, because for me, it was one of those things where it was like, oh, obvious. I just instantly knew I was Arcturian. Just oh, yeah, I'm one of those things. I know what that is. I'm one of those things. But this can be a little harder for other people, and you can look at different traits of different starseeds, and that's a good way to start narrowing down what type you might be, but also it's mostly within your heart where you feel that. So I'll make a video next about that, and maybe sit in a more interesting spot. So this was an interesting, heavier episode of Arcturian philosophy, doing what we have to do sometimes. We're warriors. We are warriors, and sometimes we have to fight. I'll see you next time on Arcturian philosophy.